Last time we were talking about consciousness. This time, this session, we'll be talking about thought and understanding. So there are many things in the world that give us information, that tell us things. And a small subset of those things are things that understand what they're telling us, that think about what they're telling us. So to take an example, a thermometer. A thermometer may tell me that it's 77 degrees outside. But the thermometer doesn't think that it's 77 degrees outside. The thermometer doesn't understand what it's telling me. Damien, on the other hand, may tell me that it's 77 degrees outside, and he thinks that it's 77 degrees outside, and he understands what he's telling me. He understands what it is for it to be 77 degrees outside. So what's the set of characteristics that distinguishes the thermometer from Damien? What is it that distinguishes thinkers from non-thinking things? Important question, because you're a thinker, I'm a thinker, we're all thinkers, and we want to know what sets us apart. Now, the seminal, most important proposal that was made about this, which was made in the early stages when the field of artificial intelligence was developing, was made by Alan Turing, famous logician, mathematician, philosopher. And he proposed this. He said that a key indicator of when a machine is thinking is that it passed a certain kind of test, a test that's now called the Turing test. Turing himself didn't call it that because he was too humble, but it's now called the Turing test. And the idea behind the Turing test is this. I want to find out if the machine is thinking. Well, what do I need to do? I need to interact with the machine by having a kind of conversation with it, where I ask it questions and it gives me answers. And if I can't tell on the basis of the answers that the machine is giving me that the machine is a machine, not a human, then the machine will pass the Turing test. So idea is roughly, let me have a whole bunch of conversations, half of them with machines like this, half of them with humans. I'm not going to be able to tell with anything better than random. I'm going to do no better than random at distinguishing the humans from the machines. My guesses are going to be no better than random as to whether I'm interacting with a human or interacting with a machine. Let's kind of see how that plays out. So I've got a couple of things to interact with here on this laptop. Here's one. Okay, let me start asking it some questions. Enough. I'm getting the sense that this is not a human being, this is a machine. So let's see. And indeed, it's Eliza. Eliza was a chatbot created in the computer program, created first in the 1960s and refined ever since, purporting to be a Romanian psychologist. It was important, if you're trying to create a program that passes the Turing test, important to make it Romanian to explain away the strange syntax, the strange English style, and important to make it a psychologist because it helps to focus conversation on very specific kinds of topics, and also because psychologists make a habit of not responding directly to questions, to answering questions with further questions, with saying very generic things like, how does that make you feel? Can you see any reason for that? And so on and so forth. And so it's kind of easier to program a machine that's impersonating a psychologist than almost anything else. Very smart. Let's try a different interaction. Okay, I've seen enough. I judge that the thing I'm interacting with does pass the Turing test this time. Seems to me to be a human being. In fact, I have a guess that it's Damien. Damien, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, well, congratulations. You're a thinker, according to Alan Turing. You passed the Turing test. So there are some different ways of understanding Turing's proposal here and the role that he thought his test would play. A weaker proposal in this vicinity is that passing the Turing test is something such that if you do it, then you've provided us with evidence that you're a thinker. So when we notice that a machine has passed the Turing test, that gives us pretty good evidence that the thing must be thinking. A stronger proposal is that it's enough for a thing to be a thinker that it passed the Turing test. There's no further question once a thing has passed the Turing test of whether it's a thinker, because that's enough. Once you do it, you're a thinker. It's not that passing it gives us evidence that you're a thinker. It's that passing it shows us that you're a thinker. And for the purposes of this lecture, let's just start with the stronger claim. Let's try and understand this to be a proposal for what's sufficient for thought. And then let's see whether or not that proposal is right.